Okay, so this first section of our final review, just recapping what we've learned this year, is our functions review. So we're just going to go over these real quick, 1 through 8, state what type of function it is, and then also the domain and range. We look at number 1, x is to the first degree, therefore this is a linear function. For some reason I can't get it to write. Back. Okay, linear. So on linear, the domain and the range can be any value, so it's negative infinity to infinity for both domain and range. And number 2, we have a logarithmic. The ln is natural log, but that's still a type of logarithmic. So logarithmic, which means the x, because it's minus 2, is going to move to the 2 right. So our input is going to be from 2 to infinity. Okay, and the range will be negative infinity to infinity. Number 3. Number 3, if we FOILed this out, we'd have x squared. So this is actually a quadratic. Okay, it's just a quadratic in factored form. And it is negative infinity to infinity for our inputs, our x values. X can be anything. And our y value is going to be from the bottom of the parabola on, which ends up being negative 6.25 to infinity. And I think the easiest way to find that would be to graph that in your calculator and then find the minimum. You could also find the y value using by switching it to vertex form, which would be back in the quadratic unit to review that. But I think the easiest way is just to type that in your calculator and find the minimum, the y value, the lowest y value. Okay, number 4 is a radical. We have our square root sign in there, so this is a radical. The square root. It goes to the left 5 because it's plus 5 under the radical, so it's going to be negative 5 to infinity. And then the range is going to start at negative 8. It's also going upward towards infinity. Number 5. Number 5, if we distributed this x squared times 2x would be 2x cubed. And then x squared times negative 5 would be minus 5x squared. So this is actually a cubic. And a cubic, because it's degree 3 and it's odd, it can be positive or negative for anything. So negative infinity to infinity. And you can also get out any number, any value, negative infinity to infinity. Okay, number 6 is a rational. Have an x in the denominator, therefore it is rational. The domain and the range, so it's the limits on what x can be and what y can be. And those will occur, let's factor this out. X minus 4 up top times x plus 3. And then on the bottom we have x minus 4 times x plus 2. Okay, so the x values in the denominator, we can have 0 in the denominator, so x can be all reals but x cannot equal 4 or -2, which gives us the y values, all reals. Y then cannot equal 1 and 7, 6. And we get those by looking at the graph and where those x values occur with those y values, the corresponding y values would be. Okay, number 7. Number 7, the x is in the exponent, so this is an exponential. Okay, the domain, -infinity to infinity, and then the range would start at 3, and then go on to positive infinity. I'm going to take a step back real quick. The range, the 1 there, y equals cannot equal 1. That was from our asymptote there at 1 over 1, y equals 1 over 1. And then the 7/6 was from just a whole, I believe. Well, let's see, the whole would be where x equals 4. So yeah, that'd be the y value when x equals 4. Okay. Number 8. Is again a quadratic, because we have degree 2. This is in vertex form. The negative means it's opening downwards, so it's reflecting. And then the vertex is at -1, -4. So therefore my range, or excuse me, my domain can be anything still. X can plug in positive or negative. But the range is going to hit a high point at -4. So it's going to start from -infinity, the low point, and then the high point is going to be 4. And that's just a quick review of functions.